Okay, so this can probably be done better, but if you want to have students do like writing stuff, I just made a little thing here, draw a graph with a scale, and I'll send a link to this to you so that if you want, so you can edit it or improve it or whatever, but have something to work from. So here, that's not what I'm looking for. What am I looking for? The draft. Eventually it'll load. So you can set things up with different questions, different slides, different types of things. One of the things that you can do is have a sketch, a place where that they can draw, and you can give them a background, and the background can be a graph. And if the graph has a scale already, you can just turn off the scale. So you can turn the axis lines on and off. You can also take the numbers on and off. So I leave it like this if I want to do something like that. You can set it so that it's kind of zoomed in more, kind of zoomed out less. And whatever you've done there, even if you plot a function on that graph and they have to like identify the point of inflection or identify this or that, they can do it. But instead, I'm going to just close this one off. I have some set up where I don't have one of those graphs, but rather just a like blank. I searched for a picture of axis or graph no labels, and I got the first one that popped up in Google search, so it could be better. I gave them instructions here. I put in a note. If you click note, it gives them a place to, it gives you a place to type. You can also do more stuff with it, but I'm not going to talk about it. I also put in a table. There's a table function here, and you can type in some values. So I typed in some values of a parabola over here, and the sketch is where I put in that background. I did similar for another one and similar for another one, but just use a different kind of background, just to show the type of thing they can do. So they'll be given, this is what they'll see. If the given table of values is plotted, set an appropriate scale. Here's some numbers. We can see the x's go from -5 to +5. So maybe with their pen, they might say that it goes from 5 to 5, right? -5 to +5. And for the y values, they might say it goes up to 15. And it might be helpful if they told you, well, it would be helpful if they could write nicely, that this next one was a 12, and this next one was a 9, and so on, and down to -15. If they look at the next one, they see the values here are pretty different. On the x-axis, it goes from -500. So again, I think the best thing they could do here is like that, up to +500. And on the y-axis, looks like by 5s is kind of our best bet here. Go up to 2,500, so they can go just above there and down to -2,500. You could get them to fill in more or less of this as you like. And this last one here, I just have the first quadrant shown, and the x-axis really small, the y-axis a little bit bigger, so they would be able to write down here, okay, this is 0.1, that's 0.2, and so on. They can do it on a phone. They can do it on a computer. It's kind of awkward, but if you give them time to do it. And the good thing about it is when you go to the class view, so this one won't work because I just made it right now. But if we go to some other thing that we've done before, what did I actually do? I actually did one of these with a class, I think. And you can see what they did. There's a dashboard view, and it'll show you the answers that they chose. And so for the individual people, it'll show you the answers that they chose and also like what their screen looked like. So trying to match, I plot a function that matches all these points, that passes through all these points. See here, this one didn't really work. But if they did it right, then they might be able to do something like this. Okay, cool, that's creative. So you can see what they've all done sort of just with a quick view, whether they got it right or not, and the circle just means did it, but it's not like an auto-markable thing. So here, like a sketch would be a good example of that. a sketch one, they would be able to do a sketch. And you can also give them a little feedback box where they can type in what they were thinking and what they were trying to do. Those, excuse the screaming in the background, it's just about nap time. So this is a fun thing to play with. I'm going to be using it more in high school math prep this term, but I'll share that one graph thing with you if you like. Just send me an email so I remember to do it, or who actually wants it. All right.